Ready to rock and roll? Righto mate, we're here with Johan and his car here. It's taken me eye. It's hard to stand out in a crowd like this, but this one definitely has. So it's a 1965, did you say?
Yeah, 1965 FJ45.
Yeah. How long have you owned it for?
Since '91. So I bought it. It was sitting in a shed on a cane farm, and I bought it off a mate. His grandfather owned it. $600, and I spent 2 years restoring it from '91 to '93, and I've had it ever since. And then it started to deteriorate. Rust started to come back through. So a year ago, I finished a second birthday for it.
Cool.
So, chassis up, rebuild.
Yep. So full cab off.
Yep.
Yep. Everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. And you've done it all yourself.
Yeah. So I had a couple of mates that are spray painters. They helped me with the final coat, but I did all the rust work, rebuilt the steel roof, did all that myself.
Cool. I know this lift up louver in the windscreen surround, they rust real bad. How was that? Was it pretty
that
good?
was in pretty good nick because I'd restored it back in the 90s. It got to a point where the rust had only got through into the roof again and on the doors. Yeah. But all those intricate parts, I'd say from restoring it back in the 90s.
Is it all steel?
Yeah.
The roof
steel.
and everything? Yeah, right. So that's the original roof on it. Yeah, cool. Nice one. Are these all like new, or have you refurbed these? Or?
Yeah, so Claude from ACL Auto Electrics, he did a new wiring loom for me, and he sourced new indicators and new park
so
lights.
all genuine by looks?
Yeah, all in from the States.
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
And did you go about the bumper bar? That's all genuine too?
Yeah, that's genuine. That was all bent up a bit, so it had to be re-bent back into place. New brakes, new brake lines.
All stock original?
Yeah, all original.
Right, over here in the engine bay of the 65, and you could tell Claude has done the loom, Claude from ACL, because it is tidy as. You'd be pretty happy with that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, really nice.
Yeah, no, it does a gorgeous job. Is the engine all pretty much untouched as far as internal?
So when I rebuilt it in the 90s, I stripped the motor down, new pistons, reboard, so it was a full rebuild of the motor.
Right.
So it's only done probably 10 or 11,000 miles since that original rebuild. And essentially everything's original. I had to put a new later model radiator in because the original core had rusted out. And at the moment I've got a later model fuel pump on there. I've had the original water pump, sorry. I've had the original water pump reconditioned. I just haven't had time to fit that.
Right, so this is the 135.
Yep.
Yeah, it's cool. And you've got the 3-speed.
3-speed, yep.
Yeah, 3 on the floor.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Righto. And how does the gearbox go? Like, what sort of speeds? Is this thing registered?
Yeah, full registration.
Did you drive it here?
Yeah, I drove it from Brisbane, so it sits on about 80 Ks, which is fine.
Yeah, and it just sucks the fuel out of it, does it? Yeah, they're heavy, aren't they?
Yeah,
right, Yeah, righto. What's the longest drive you would have done in this vehicle?
Well, in the 90s, it was my daily drive. So I used to drive between Cardwell and Cairns on a regular basis.
Right.
No problems. This is probably the longest drive since the second rebuild, from Brisbane up to here. I've done Brisbane down on the Gold Coast to visit my mum, show it off to her.
Lovely. Yeah, cool. And even the hard lines and stuff, did you bend them up yourself?
No, I had NZ in Brisbane. Yeah. They did all the brake lines and clutch.
Yeah, nice. And how did you go about suspension? Which brand of suspension did you decide to run?
I put new springs on in the 90s, but
the shockies don't look that old.
Yeah, they're brand new shockies. I can't remember what brand I've used.
That's all good. Yeah, right.
But I put new bushes in, new brake drums, new brake calipers.
Yeah, no, you've done great. It's a real good example. We might close this up and head inside if that's all right. I'm just having a look around on the interior of the 65. Everything's looking pretty much in place. Why is this personal preference, changing the colours of these panels here, eh?
It was just a case of going to Bunnings, getting some spray paint and just picking a colour that I thought looked okay.
Yeah, too easy. Have you ever had any major sort of rust in here? Because everything looks pretty well.
You can see here on the floor that when I rebuilt originally in the 90s, all the hydraulic fluids had gone out through the master cylinders, and the whole floor had to be replaced there on both sides.
Righto.
And the chassis needed a fair bit of work as well.
Yeah. So that's still the original chassis.
Yeah. So I had that sandblasted, but that then just showed there was a whole heap of rust in there.
In the 90s, you had it sandblasted?
Yeah.
How did it go between the 90s and now, a few years ago when you'd done it? Was the chassis pretty solid still?
Yeah. It's always maintained, its integrity.
Nice.
And then over the between birthday 1 and birthday 2, the rust in the usual places started to come through, so I had to rebuild the whole roof. These corner sections, I got some parts from a guy in Melbourne, so I had to rebuild the whole front section of the roof. And you can see up there, you can see some patchwork that I've done.
Yeah, so
it's the original steel roof.
So does everything work in this car how it should?
Yep.
Right. No, that's outstanding. Who's done the trim on your seats here?
That's Stuart at All Car Interiors in Windsor.
Yeah, right. And it's just a vinyl, eh?
Yeah.
Looks sharp. Looks the part,
looks
that's
nice.
sure.
Yeah.
How do you go about your seals? Like, are these all genuine seals?
Yeah, I got them through through Ben Keane.
Yep. Gotcha.
So I got all the rubbers through him, plus bonnet latches and bits and pieces. The rims, I got the 15-inch rims and hubcaps through him as well.
Yeah, right. Cool. So we got genuine rims, genuine hubcaps, pretty much genuine where you can get genuine.
Yeah.
It's good to see, and these are all the original switches by the looks of it, which is great to see because they can get hard to find when they get missing. So. Yeah, 3 on the tree, no aircon, basic as, but gets the job done.
Yeah.
Nice one. Let's go have a look at the tray on this. Right, what sort of timber have you used on this tray here?
This is Quila.
Where's that from?
It's I think it's a Western Australian timber.
Is it?
So it's a common decking timber. I built the tray from scratch when I did the first rebuild in the 90s.
Yeah, nice.
So just used the rails from the original tray, cut them off, and then fabricated the top, and then put new timber in.
Yeah, nice.
I've just recently given it another oil.
Yeah, no, I see. No, it looks good. It definitely looks the part. It's not too shiny. It's not shiny. It's got that sort of that matte finish to it, which is good. Yeah. So standard fuel tank.
Yep.
You haven't got any extra capacity fuel.
No.
And everything underneath's how it should, eh?
Yep.
Yeah, right. What's your favourite memory in this car? Have you done any weddings or anything fancy in it?
No. I think one of the favourite memories was late 90s. My mate had a FJ40, and he got bogged on the crab track, which is just north of Cairns. So we had to take this to go and
this was the rescue mission.
Yeah.
How'd you go? No dramas?
Well, getting in was no problems, but getting out was a different, because we'd gone down this clay sort of ramp through the river crossing. So I then ended up having to walk 16 kilometres out to get to a station to make a phone call to another mate that was teaching up there, and he came with his later model.
Is this a 2-day mission, or is this a 1-day job?
Yeah, we had to camp overnight.
Yeah, it's not a before smoko job, is it?
No.
Damn. Yeah, right. Oh, well, helps to have good mates for the Toyota, I suppose.
Yeah.
Right. What do you reckon the outlook for this car is? Just going to keep it forever?
Yeah, keep it forever. I'll probably pass it on to my nephew. So
they're pretty interested in it.
Yeah. It's there's not many of this vintage around, so I think it's worth keeping a bit of history. It's it's actually only 2 months younger than me. I was born March 1965, and this was manufactured May 1965.
Yeah, I don't know who's aging better, but I reckon they're both doing all right. Nice.
This one's a lot prettier.
Yeah, right. Well, we'll let you guys just make your own mind on that one. But no, thanks heaps for showing me the car.
Hey,
I really
no worries.
appreciate it.
Cheers.
Yeah, good chatting to you. Cheers.